1619 Project is an ongoing initiative from the New York Times Magazine that began in August 2019 at the anniversary of the 1619 arrival of the first enslaved people to Virginia over 400 years ago. It aims to reframe the country's history by placing the consequences of slavery and the contributions of Black Americans at the very center of our national narrative. Challenges the idea that American history began with the signing of the Declaration of Independence in 1776 or with the arrival of the Pilgrims in 1620, and seeks re-examination of the legacy of slavery in the United States. The 1619 Project is a long-form journalistic compilation of 10 essays created by journalist Nikole Hannah-Jones and features writers from the New York Times and the New York Times Magazine. The first edition appeared in a 100-page issue of the New York Times Magazine on August 14, 2019. It included 10 written essays, a photo essay, and a collection of poems and fiction, with an introduction by Editor-in-Chief Jake Silverstein. Additional contributors include Matthew Desmond, Linda Villarosa, Jamil Bowie, Brian Stevenson, Kevin Cruz, Wesley Morris, Janine Interlandi, Khalil Gibran Muhammad, Trymaine Lee, and Nicole herself. The subsequent book, The 1619 Project, A New Origin Story, was published in 2021 and along with the publication has been widely praised yet harshly criticized, even having legislation in some states ban the teaching or discussion of the literary work in schools and universities. The project made a bold claim, which remains the central idea of the book, that the moment in August 1619 when the first enslaved Africans arrived in the English colonies that would become the United States could, in a sense, be considered the country's origin. The reasoning behind this is simple. Enslavement is not marginal to the history of the United States. It's inextricable. So many of our traditions and institutions were shaped by slavery, and so many of our persistent racial inequalities stem from its enduring legacy. Identifying the start of such a vast and complex system is of somewhat a symbolic act. It was not until the late 1600s that slavery became codified with new laws in various colonies that firmly established the institution's racial bias and dehumanizing structure. But 1619 marks the earliest beginnings of what will become this system. The publication and the New York Times bestseller book have newly spawned a visual, The 1619 Project, a 6-part limited docuseries streamed by Hulu, which premiered in January 2023. The series is executive produced and hosted by Hannah-Jones, Roger Ross Williams, Caitlin Roper, an editor of the 1619 Project, Kathleen Lingo, the New York Times editorial director for film and television, and Oprah Winfrey. Nikole Hannah-Jones said, "You can't understand the history of America without understanding the story of slavery. It's not a documentary about Black people. It's a documentary series about America. It offers a better understanding of the country we live in." And if you didn't know, now you know.